Okay, good morning, boys and girls at home. Today is March 3rd, Wednesday, and we're continuing to go over time, elapsed time. So let's review real quick what elapsed time means. What does elapsed time mean? If I ask you for the elapsed time, what do you think that means, Kelsey?
I think it means when you see like a poster that says 150 and it starts at 150 like Moby and Annie did yesterday. They looked at it and got a clock and like saw the time of like how to do it.
Okay, so they saw the time of how long it lasted. Okay, so elapsed time means how much time has passed from a starting point to an ending point. Okay, that's what y'all worked on yesterday. Today you're going to have a starting time and you're going to have to find the end time. Okay, so what that means is they're going to give you the minutes of how long something is going to take. You're going to have to count those minutes skipping forward to figure out what the end time would be. Okay, so let's look at the first problem at the top. It says, Jacob begins working on his oceans project at 1:30 p.m. He spends 30 minutes painting a model of Earth and 12 minutes labeling the continents and oceans. At what time does Jacob finish working on his project? Okay? So first let's go in our word problem and see what time is given. Circle that in your word problem. What time is given?
At 1:30 p.m.
1:30 p.m. Is that the start time?
Yes.
Yes. Circle the time. 1:30 is what time we're starting with. Okay? 1:30 is what the time that we're starting. Now what are we asked to find?
We're asked to find Jacob finish.
What time he finished the project, okay? So we need to know there's 30 minutes of painting, right? And 12 minutes of labeling. So do I need to know both of those times?
Yes.
Yes. So circle those. Okay, and we need to know what time he finished the project. Okay? So we're going to start by using a number line. So, step 1, it says find the time on the number line when Jacob started working on the project. Okay, and they've already got that started for us. Number line right here. So now that we have our number line, we're going to count forward on the number line by the times that they gave us. 30 minutes and 12 minutes. Okay, so just like we did yesterday, you guys can skip by whatever you feel comfortable skipping by, okay? If it's already at 30 minutes, 1:30, could I skip by a whole 30 and know what time would be next?
No.
No, y'all can't? Okay. So what do we want to break it up into? I need to take 30 minutes and I can break it up into tens, okay? So that would be
3 tens.
10, 20, 30, 3 tens.
Then you could do a whole.
Hold on though, we need to go down here and label the times. So if I skip 1 10-minute
1:40.
jump, it would be what time?
1:40.
Good, 1:40.
1:50.
Another 10 would be 1:50.
1:62.
Okay, but when I get to 60, it becomes 2 o'clock. Very good, Kaylee. 60 minutes is an hour. So once I get to 60, I have to change this to the next hour, which would be 2. Okay? I've done all 30 minutes, and now I need to jump by 12. Okay? We can break apart the 12 too if we want to keep jumping by 10s. Can I take this 12 and break it apart somehow?
Yes.
Yes, I can break it into a 10, and then what else?
2.
2. Okay? So if I jump another 10, what time would it be?
If you jump another 10, it will be 2:10.
2:10. Good. And then all that's left is
A 2.
a 2. Okay.
It's 212.
It is 212 because I'm at 210. 10 plus 2 more would be 212. Okay. So now this time we didn't need to add up all the times. We needed to know the end time. Okay. So what time did we end at?
We ended at 212.
2:12. So he ends his project at 2:12 p.m. Okay, so today we don't need to add up the jumps, but we are breaking them apart. Okay, so if it gives you 30 minutes, you can break that up into 3/10. And you have to find the end time of the event. Okay. Another way to do that is to look at jumps on a clock. Okay? Who remembers what we skip by on a clock? If I'm going from 1 to 2, how many minutes passed? 5. If I jump from the 2 to a 3, how many minutes is that? 5 minutes. So every jump that you make from the whole numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're jumping 5 minutes, okay? Skipping by 5s. So we need to find the starting time on the clock, which is 1:30. It's already done for us. So notice how the hour hand is in between the 1 and the 2. The minute hand is on the 6. Okay? So now I'm going to skip around the clock 30 minutes and 12 minutes. Okay? So 30 minutes plus 12 minutes is how much time? How much time would be 30 plus 12?
35.
Evangeline?
42.
42 minutes. So I'm going to jump around the clock, skipping by 5s until I get to 42. Bryson, are you following along? Your back is turned to the board. I don't know how you could possibly be following along when your back is turned to the board. Okay? So we're starting here at the minute hand. The long hand is the minute hand, so we're going to start here. We say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Can I skip another 5? No, because I'm really close to 42, so I only need to go 41, 42. So here's where I landed, right there. Okay? I went past this 12 mark, though, so what does that mean? I go to the next hour. Good. So it's 2 o'clock now, and then the minutes I landed right here. So if we start at 0 here, this would be 5, 10, 11, 12. So the time would be 2:12. Okay? So 2 ways, the number line and the clock. Which way do we like better so far? Just say it out loud.
You like the clock.
You like the number line and some of y'all like the clock? Okay.
I like the clock.
Okay, let's turn to the next page. We're going to have a different word problem. Keyboard. Page 572 at the very top. It says, Whitney swam laps in the pool for 25 minutes. She finished swimming at 11:15 a.m. At what time did Whitney start swimming? Okay. So this time we don't need to find the end time or what time she finished. We need to find the time that she started. So let's circle that. What time she started. Okay. So, well, she finished at 11:15. She swam for 25 minutes. So if I need to find the start time, I have to jump which way on the number line?
Backwards.
Backwards, okay? So the end time is going to go at the end of the number line, okay? So if you go down to step 3, it has 11:15 already marked at the end for us, okay? So now we're going to have to jump backwards and subtract while we jump. Right, Allie?
Mm-hmm.
Start at 11:15, and we need to skip for 25 minutes, okay? So if I have 25 minutes, what is a good amount that I can break this up into that we want to skip by? Kaylee? 2 tens and 1 5. What else could you do? If you just want to do fives, could you do that? Yeah, okay. So let's try it Kaylee's way. 2 tens and a 5, because that equals 25 minutes. Okay, so if I jump backwards, subtracting 10, this is where mental math really comes in handy. You need to be able to subtract in your head 15 minus 10. What would that equal? 1105. Okay, now, what would be better to skip by now? A 5 or a 10?
A 10 to a
Why?
5.
A 5. Why would that make more sense?
Because it's less than 5 to make it 0.
It would make it 0 if I took away 5, right? Is that easier? A little bit easier to have an even time?
Yes.
Okay. So if I jump back 5, what time would it be? 11 o'clock. Good. Okay. So I've done a 5, I've done a 10, now I need to go back 10 more. Okay, so if I'm at 11 o'clock, here's where it gets a little more challenging. I'm going backwards, right? So if I go backwards 10 more minutes, I'm taking away an hour, right? Because I've gone as far as I can for this hour. What hour would come before 11?
Oh, a 10?
10. So now I'm in the tens. But 10 what? Who knows?
10 o'clock?
Not 10 o'clock.
10.
Aaliyah? 10:50. Good. Because remember, we start at 60, so if I take away 10, that's going to leave me with 50. Does everybody understand how we're getting 50? Okay? Because this is actually 60 right here. If I take away 10 from that, that gives me 50. Okay? So 10:50 a.m. is when Whitney started swimming.
Miss Walker, why did I put AM and PM? Like, what, do you know what it stands for?
AM is the morning, PM is the night, but I don't know. I don't remember what they stand for. Good question. Maybe we can look that up later. So another way is to count backwards on a clock. We did a clock a second ago, but we counted forward. So now we need to count backwards. The time is marked for us, 11:15. So now I needed to subtract 25 minutes going backwards. Do I start at the 11 or at the 3?
3.
The 3, because that's my minutes. So there's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay? So what time would that be?
That would be,
We went past the 12, so it's got to get another hour. 10. And this 10 right here, what minute is that? The 10 on the clock stands for what minute? Not 10 o'clock. 50. Remember the 9 is 45, so the 10 is 50. 10:50. Okay? So to me, the number line is easier. The clock can get a little confusing because you're having to look at two sets of numbers, your clock numbers and the numbers that you're skipping by. Okay, so a number line, even if they give you a clock on the problem, you can draw your own number line if that's easier for you. Okay, number 1, I want you guys to try this one on your own and then we'll check it together. It says use the number line to find the starting time if the elapsed time is 35 minutes. Okay, so you need to start here and count backwards
until you get to the other arrow.
until you get to the 35. see how we did. So I need to make sure I'm skipping 35 minutes total backwards. So I'm going to subtract it. So it might be helpful for you to go ahead and tell yourself or write down what you're going to skip by to equal 35. Okay? If you're going to split this up, you could do 10, 20, 30, and then another 5, right? So I could go 3 jumps of 10 and 1 jump of 5 to equal 35. That might help you before you start doing all the jumping, okay? So I'm going to go from 5, 10. I'm going to go ahead and jump a 10. Minus 10. So if I'm at 5, 10 and I take away 10, what time would that be? 5 o'clock. Okay? I just took off the 10 minutes. So it's 5 o'clock now. I'm going to mark off one of the 10s. Okay? I'm going to jump another 10. Now here's where it gets tricky because I'm at 5. Think in your head 60 minutes. So if I'm minus 10 from 60, it's now going to be
450.
Good, 450. Since we're going backwards, the hour needs to get lower, not higher. Okay? One more 10 to go, so I'm going to jump another 10. 50 minus 10 is what, Javea? So you're like skipping backwards by 10. So 50, 40, 30, 20. So 50 minus 10 is 40. Okay, I've done all of my 10 skips, so I'm going to jump by the 5 and then I'm done. Okay, so I have 40 minutes and I need to take away 5 from that. What would that be, Bryson? 35, good. So it's really going to make you work on your mental math. Okay, because that's all we did here, right? We jumped backwards and we did it in our head. Okay? Now let's look at number 2. This is kind of what your assignment is going to be on. You're going to have times that you're given, and you're going to have to use a clock and a number line to find the start or the end time. Okay? So if the starting time is 1:40, it tells you the elapsed time for lunch was 20 minutes and the walking the dog was 13 minutes. So if my start time is 1:40, where does that need to go on the number line? The beginning or the end? Beginning, good, because that's the start, right? So we're going to put 1:40. This right here, guys, if you don't learn anything today but this, then that's a good thing, because this is going to help you on any type of time problem, knowing how to set up a number line, okay? We knew 1:40 needed to go at the beginning because we're starting at 1:40, okay? Now what can I do next, Kaylee? If I have 20 and 13 I need to do on the number line. I'm going to add them, okay? If you want to break it up first, the 20 can be broken up into what? 2 10s, good. The 13 can be broken up into 10 and 3, good. Okay, so I'm going to skip by 3 10s. So 40 plus 10 would be 150. 50 plus 10. Okay, make sure everybody knows that. If I add 50 in a 10, that gives me 60. But since 60 is the highest amount I can do on a clock, we now go to the next hour. Does everybody understand that? Okay, so now it becomes 2 o'clock. We've got one more 10, so 2 o'clock plus 10. 2:10, good. And then the last jump is a 5. Oh, not a 5, sorry, a 3. We have a 3 here, so change that. 2:10 plus 3 would be what? 2:13, good. So the ending time would be 2:13. 13 p.m. Now, was that difficult or a little overwhelming, or was it pretty easy?
Easy.
Okay, so if this is all you learned today, that's a good start, okay? If this is easy for you right here, this is a good skill for you to know how to do elapsed time. Setting up a number line and skipping, okay? All right, let's do one more in your book. The starting time is 9:55. The clock is already pointing to the 9:55 for us. So I need to show on the clock that 15 minutes for riding a bike and 12 minutes for homework. Okay? Can I go ahead and add these two times together since I'm doing it on a clock? Okay, so 15 plus 12 would be 27 minutes. Okay? Now, which way do I need to go on the clock? Do I need to go around to the right or backwards? We need to go forwards. Good. So, Bryson, am I going to start skipping from the 10 or from the 11?
10 or 11.
The 11. We want to start from the minute hand, which is the long one. We start at the 11 and we're going to count 27. Skipping by what? 5. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, I can't skip by another 5, can I? So what do I do now? The little line. So the two singles, it would be 1, 2 to be 27. So right here is where I landed. I went past the 12. I go past that 12. I'm not at 9 o'clock anymore. I'm at 10. Okay? So 10. Now let's look at my minutes. If this is 0 at the top where the 12 is for minutes, this would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22 is where we stopped. Okay, so 10, 22, still a.m. It doesn't change to p.m. until what? Anybody know?
It doesn't change to p.m. until it's nighttime.
Until 12 o'clock. So basically lunchtime is when the p.m. starts. 12 p.m. Okay, let's put that away. See, this lesson took us 22 minutes and we only did 3 problems in the book. Well, we did the examples, but I'm telling you, it takes a while to get through elapsed time, and that's okay. Okay, so before we go on, this is what you're going to do for your assignment today. You're going to be given the start time on the clock, okay? And then it's going to give you what you need to skip by, okay? Actually, I want y'all to do this side, okay? So this one is showing what time? What time does this clock show? The very first one.
It shows 10.
No, not 10.
150.
150. So you have to know what the clock is saying, because if you don't, you're going to get the answer wrong. Okay? So it takes Mary 10 minutes to shower. She begins her shower at the following time. So I need to look at the shorthand for my hour. It's in between the 1 and the 2, so that means it's 1. Okay, the long hand is on the 10. So what does that equal, Kelsey?
It equals 1.
If y'all use your notes from yesterday or Monday, this was the 15, the 6 is 30, the 9 is 45, so one more after 45 would be 50. Okay? What time will she finish her shower? Okay? Well, it takes her 10 minutes. So do I need to start at this hand to skip 10 or at the 10?
10.
The 10. You always need to start at the long hand, the minute hand. Okay? So I'm going to go 5, 10. Okay? What does that mean when I get on the 12, Javea? Say that again. O'clock. Okay, so it's going to change to the next hour. What would the next hour be? Kaylee?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. Good. All right. So it's very important that you know how to read a clock first. That should be kind of like second, first grade stuff. If you need help, let me know. So you're going to write the clock time that you see first, and then you're going to write the end time, skipping around on a clock. If you need to do a number line instead, you can do that on an extra sheet of paper, or those of you at home, you can do it in Seesaw. Okay? Any questions?